And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are talking about bodybuilding. I've not made a video about bodybuilding ever, okay? But I'm just gonna share my thoughts on it, whether it is feminine or masculine. And the answer might surprise you. This is gonna be interesting. First of all, I'm not a bodybuilder. I do not focus on intense exercise in my life at this point in time. It is simply not a priority. So let's talk a little bit about priorities. Why are you or are you not exercising a lot? Let's talk about it, because there's a lot of you guys who are watching my channel who are focused, like laser focused on getting the perfect dream body that you've always wanted ever since you were a kid, or ever since you were a teenager, or whatever the case may be. Let's look at it from the long-term perspective. Let's begin with the end in mind. What are we trying to do here? We're trying to create an amazing life as possible, filled with joy, bliss, and happiness, having prioritized the most important things that could leverage our time and effort so that as to get the results that we desire, okay? So if we understand that aspect, then we need to know, what do we want? Well, our main objective, lifelong, long-term, is to become masculine. Okay, what is masculinity? Is it being massively buff? Is it whatever the case may be of what people say are manly traits these days? Or is it our definition on this channel, which is the ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors? That is masculinity. That's the end goal in mind. The more you're able to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, the more you'll be able to get whatever it is in life that you desire. Okay, so if we know this, let's look at the 5 phases of leadership. Because masculinity is all about leadership. Why? Because your value, okay, as a man is directly proportional to the value that you bring to the marketplace. The value that you bring to society determines you being high value or not. It's not based upon if you think that you're high value, which is great if you do, but if no one else thinks that you're high value, then what's the point? Okay, like there needs to be a correlation of some sort where the value that you have, the self-worth that you have, is not only based upon what you think about yourself, but also what others see you as, okay? Now, there might be times when you have an amazing self-worth and you're just way ahead of your time, okay? And everyone hates you, but you ended up being the one that had the truth. Eventually, they all figured it out, but the mainstream, just came too late. That happens too, okay? But that is an exception to the rule. I'm talking about, as a general rule, if you are of high value to society, you are absolutely high value. Okay, so if we know this, we're moving now towards leadership. Because leadership is the ability to lead other people toward a destined, desired end. Which has nothing to do with bodybuilding, by the way. Or does it? Okay? Are you going to lead a bunch of bodybuilders? For what? Okay, so let's move on. If we now understand that we're trying to become leaders, let's understand the 5 phases of leadership that we talk about on this channel. Number 1, allow yourself to be led. That's number 1, which is the only feminine aspects of the 5 phases of leadership. Because allowing yourself to be led means that you need to be submissive to someone who knows more than you, to someone who makes more money than you, to someone who has the lifestyle that you desire and you haven't arrived yet. But if you're not submissive and you're prideful and you have a huge ego and you don't allow yourself to be led, you'll never get what they have, right? It's like, or it will take you 10 times longer to get there, because it's so much easier to resist the reinventing the wheel aspect and just learn from other people, okay? This is a principle that we're going to talk about again in the, during this video, because it's part of it. allowing yourself to be led. Okay. Number two phase number two is leading yourself. Number three is leading others. Number four is leading women. Number five is leading kids. Number 4 and 5 is not a priority in your life right now. In many ways, no matter who you are, you might be an exception to the rule, but then you're exception to the rule, which means that you're part of the 1% that has messed up in terms of his priorities, okay? Literally. Because there's some guys who just prioritize women and kids first, and then they basically, their success comes 20 years later. I was one of those guys. So I'm trying to kind of help you guys to set up your life properly so that you can get everything in life that you desire, okay? We're still talking about bodybuilding, believe it or not. If you understand the 5 phases of leadership, then we need to understand why are you focused on bodybuilding if you are. If you're not, then this video is not really for you. Okay, but it kind of helps you to feel better about yourself if you haven't prioritized bodybuilding. Okay, but let's say you are prioritizing bodybuilding, then I'm just sharing this with you. Why are you prioritizing bodybuilding? Why? Have you reflected on it? What desire within you brings you about to, I want an amazing body and I want it right now, so this is what I'm going to focus on. I can bet you that the main reason why you want to build your body right now in your current circumstance, when you're probably not very wealthy, if you're watching my channel, most guys who watch my channel are not wealthy. There are a few exceptions to the rule, but most guys are not. And that's okay. I want to help everyone to move towards success. Even successful people can watch my channel, but then they'll focus on the other things that they've missed. Right? The money aspect and the business aspect, they'll be like, yeah, he's not really there yet. We understand, Joseph, okay, blah, blah, blah. But the other stuff that you're talking about, man, this is insane. Okay, I have the general package, and I want to help you to build a strong foundation. So the reason why you are bodybuilding is because you want phase 4. You want to lead women. You want to sleep with women. You want to attract beautiful women. This is the main reason why guys begin to build their bodies. Am I wrong? Or am I right? Is that what you wanted? Okay, trust me. It is not time yet to attract women into your life. You're not the exception to the rule probably on this one. If you are, DM me on Instagram and I'll let you know if you are. But most of the time, it is not time yet to prioritize bodybuilding. And when I say prioritizing bodybuilding, I'm saying, okay, you're spending 2 hours at the gym a day, or 3 hours, or whatever it is. You're using massive supplements. You're using protein powder. You're using maybe even steroids, for crying out loud. That is scientifically proven, which will decrease your testosterone levels over time. Okay, if you're using steroids. What is it called? Performance and PEDs? Yeah. Don't use those, okay? It's messing your life up, it's destroying your hormones, and it's eventually will destroy your testosterone. That's not very masculine because masculinity is testosterone, okay? So if we understand this, well, let's talk a little bit more about bodybuilding. Is it all bad? No, of course not, okay? Bodybuilding in and of itself, to have an amazing body, of course, it's masculine. But it comes as a natural result of being masculine. It's not used to become masculine. Does that make sense? Like, if you are masculine, you will naturally develop an amazing body over time. Simply because you're testosterone filled, you're competitive, you make things happen, okay? So eventually you're going to work out and you're going to look like a demigod eventually, okay? But if you're using this in order for you to become masculine as a result of, like, you're compensating for your femininity, that's a problem, because you're not going to become more masculine simply from bodybuilding, although it might help. There are some of you guys that might say, well, bodybuilding saved my life, man. I was on the wrong path, but then I discovered bodybuilding and like my life has changed forever and I'm a better man because of it. Great, good on you. Same you could say about basketball or chess or any other sport that saved your life because you were going in the wrong direction. I'm just saying, prioritization. I'm going to get back to it. I just want to explain the positive aspects of exercise and bodybuilding in and of itself as well, because I am pro bodybuilding once you've prioritized everything else that I'm going to explain now afterwards. It's fantastic. Okay, yes, will I at some point in time have an amazing demigod body? Of course. Why? Because I want my women to be happy. Okay, there's been multiple times in my marriage where my wife is like, go to the gym a little bit more. I don't care. That's not my priority. I want to make sure that we're flippin' stinking rich first, because I hate being an ignorant little whatever at the gym. Like, maybe you could say that that's why I'm telling you guys to deprioritize bodybuilding, but I'm saying, why not be the rich guy who has his own private place that he goes to, or you could go to the gym if you want to, but remember this principle. Personal development is a team sport. Personal development is a team sport. If you're spending 2 hours at the gym, it's because you have no idea what you're doing. If you're spending 2 hours at the gym, it's because you have no idea what you're doing. We're talking effectiveness. If you want to be effective and get results from exercise, you need other people to help you get to the land of your dreams when it comes to proper, healthy exercise that doesn't break your body, that doesn't cause you to overtrain, and that doesn't mess up your journey of exercise. So that brings me to helping you understand that, yes, we will do it for the women eventually, and they want you. They're shallow, okay? Which is a great thing because it helps us to actually look good, okay? Wonderful. And then the second aspect is personal development as a team sport. Remember that one, please. Because if you're spending a lot of time at the gym, you could spend your time so much more wisely if you're a young dude right now. The results that you have are going to go away eventually, because it's very difficult to keep that thing up if you prioritize wrong in every single other aspect of your life as well. If you prioritize bodybuilding first ahead of money, as an example, then that probably means that you're deprioritizing other important stuff in your life and prioritizing crap. Which means that eventually over time, you're going to be all over the place, which is going to cause you to not build anymore. Suddenly your muscles will basically turn to fat. You'll have the habit of eating a lot because that's part of your exercise regimen. You'll still keep eating a lot, but then you won't exercise as much because of inconsistencies and whatever's happening. Or become like Elliot Hulse. Right? Which basically, like, he lost a lot of the stuff that he was going. Maybe it was because he was vegan for a time, whatever it was. But did you get what I'm saying? You can be vegan and a bodybuilder as well. People have proven that you can do that. But I'm just saying in general, you want to have sustainability in whatever that you do. Consistency, okay? And you want consistency for a long period of time. I had one dude one time who was basically saying, I want to prioritize going to college to become a pastor and bodybuilding. And I'm just like, how do these two go together when Paul basically expressly said that bodybuilding is a flippin' waste of time? Yeah, Paul, in the Bible, okay? Find the scripture, it's there. Anyway, I'm just saying, it's not a religious channel, but it's just funny how people prioritize. Bro, this is not important, okay? What's important is setting up your financial foundation first, because that has to do with exponential growth. If you can learn to build up your financials and create the exponential growth curve, it will help you to get everything in life that you desire, including your bodybuilder image that you've always wanted since you were a teenager. Because you can now hire people, those bodybuilders who spent all of their lives to build their bodies, you can now hire them to naturally help you to the land of your dreams faster. Okay? They'll make the diet programs for you. They'll force you to eat what you need to eat. They'll get you right, okay? Because they know what they're doing, which makes the process automatic. Okay? If there's a word that I love more than a lot of other words, is automatic. I want things to go automatically in my life. I don't want to have to think about it, okay? I want to think about big thinking stuff. I want to understand how to solve big problems. Solving what I need to eat, when I need to eat it, although that's an important part of the, of a man's journey if he's voluntary celibate doing this program. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to be thinking about the small, minute things of the bodybuilding journey if I can have someone else think about that for me. And the only way other people will think about that for me is if I pay them a nice price for it. Does that make sense? So, do I tell some of my clients to practice bodybuilding? No, I don't. But they will eventually. I have a couple of clients, 3 or 4 clients, who actually make a lot of money, okay? And these guys, what I focus on in terms of masculinity for them is I tell them first, it's not bodybuilding. If you want 3 in love, bodybuilding, yes, it will come naturally as a result, you know, blah, blah, blah. What I want you to focus on is martial arts, and then eventually we'll move on to weaponry, okay? Martial arts and weaponry allows you to protect. There's nothing, like, one of the most masculine things you can do is to protect, okay? Just because you're huge, a bodybuilder, yes, you might have a strong hit, but what else do you got, okay? Like, a martial arts black belt of whatever sport is going to kick your ass, okay? No matter what. No matter how big you are in terms of bodybuilding. Does that make sense? So you're prioritizing the things that are actually going to make a difference long term to your life, to your family, to everyone around you. Having a nice body, yes, of course, let's have that as well, but it's just not a big priority. Do you get what I'm saying? So number 1 on your journey is to develop a massive work ethic. This is why I focus on 80-hour work week and drilling it through your brains that this is the number 1 thing that you need to learn and to get right inside your head. If you can't do an 80-hour work week, you will never, ever get what it is that you want. You'll see other people passing you by, watching them on social media. I'm like, dang, my friend that I went to high school with is making $50 million a year now, and I'm working at Starbucks or whatever it is. Do you get what I'm saying? You want to be that guy who makes millions and millions and millions of dollars, and then you have like 10,000 other people who are like, dang. Exactly. Do that first. Okay, you'll automatically and quickly get everything else you want as a result afterwards. Okay, you learn the work ethic, the massive work ethic that allows you to never ever give up, that develops your massively awesome attitude so that you have an attitude independent of circumstances, and then you learn how to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors on that journey so that you can start a business. Starting a business is hard. It creates a lot of rejection, and it's boring because most of the time in the beginning, nothing's happening, okay? Kind of like bodybuilding, right? It takes time before you get results. Exactly. So why are you doing bodybuilding and prioritizing that over the consistency and exponential growth curve of getting money? Those are 2 exponential growth curves that are extremely difficult to do all at the same time if you are by yourself. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying focus on the money part, massive work ethic, build a business, create passive income, okay? Have a coach, for crying out loud, that can help you with these priorities. And then over time, guess what? You'll have 100K in the bank. You'll have 500K in the bank. What am I talking? In your hardware wallet that has cryptocurrency on it. That's your bank, okay? Make sure you guys got one. Your Trezor wallet or Ledger, whatever you guys want. Okay, so once you got that, once you got $1 million, bro, don't you think you'll be ready to hire people to teach you the skills and the arts of you know, fighting and bodybuilding and weaponry and whatever it is that you want to learn in order for you to be able to protect yourself, your family, etc. At some point in time, you're going to hire bodyguards as well. So do you get what I'm saying? Its only use case is to feel good about yourself, for your women to enjoy being tossed around, okay, which they do, and then for you to kind of look good when you're on stage. That's it. Okay, of course, yes, for your health as well, as long as you're not doing all the other overtraining and steroids and all that crap. For your health, it's actually good for your health as well and allows you a longevity, etc., etc. But prioritization. Prioritize wisely and correctly in the early part of your career, so to speak, because it's going to make a monumental difference to focus on the cash aspect now. And if you're saying, well, personal development is a team sport, I don't have a lot of money, but I really want that body, so let me hire a PT, okay, then you're completely off the bonkers because you don't have that kind of cash to do that for a long period of time consistently, okay? Just don't do it yet. It's not time yet, okay? Having said that, having good exercise routines that you do for 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, or every other day, fantastic. I completely applaud it. Awesome. Get your sleep, get your small exercise that you can consistently keep going for an extended period of time without having to think, without having to change your diet, without having to do all of those different things to keep it consistent. Focus on the most important thing right now, your work ethic and getting your money right. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you guys in the next one.